Hey everyone, welcome back to CHAZZMTG, where we talk about all things magic related. Today we're going to talk about how to lose all your friends in one commander game with Brago, King Eternal. Now before we start, if you do enjoy this deck tech, do consider giving it a share, and or like, or subscribe for more deck techs in the future. Now back to the deck tech. Brago King Eternal is a 2 of anything, 1 blue, 1 white, 2/4 legendary creature, spirit. He has flying, and when Brago deals combat damage to a player, exile any number of non-land permanents you own, then return them to the battlefield. This blink ability is great when paired with mana rocks, as they return to the battlefield untapped, allowing you to use them again. You can also blink your creatures with ETB abilities to trigger them every single time you connect with Brago. And because it's so easy to break parity with Brago, he's considered to be one of the best tax commanders in all of EDH. You can deny resources and lock down your opponents so much that they don't get to play magic at all. You want to fill your deck with a lot of mana rocks, as the aim of this deck is to get a turn 2 Brago whenever possible. Soul Ring, Mana Crypt, Mana Vault, and Green Monolith, to name a few. The last two are essentially great ramps with no downsides, as you can just blink to untap them. Some other mana rocks that you can include are Mind Stone, Farewell Stone, Thought Vessel, Talisman of Progress, and the new Arcane Signet. Having a mana rock on turn 2 means a turn 3 Brago, which should be the next priority. Now let's go over some of the mean cards. The cards that make every EDH player groan whenever they hit the table. Winter Orb, Static Orb, Stasis, and Hokori Dust Drinker are prime suspects for keeping your opponent's resources tapped down. The tilt your opponents have when they see a turn 2 Winter Orb is so satisfying. You wish you always had it in your opening hand. Tangle Wire works great in Brago too, as you can reset the fate counters every time you blink it. If you're not keeping your opponent's resources down, you're making them pay more for them. Aura of Silence, Thalia Guardian of Traven, and Sphere of Resistance are just some examples of cards that tax your opponents. Lack of resources combined with having to pay extra for their spells are a sure way to make your opponents feel bad. Rest in Peace and Gravedigger's Cage can host graveyard strategies, while Curse Totem and Pithing Needle can shut down decks that rely heavily on your commander's activated ability. Mystic Remora is an absolutely fantastic card in Brago, as its cumulative upkeep stays at 1 every time you blink it, making your opponents steal even more and letting you draw more cards. Now let me show you some of my favorite cards to play whenever I have Brago out. Firstly, Rishadan Cutpurse and Rishadan Footpad. If you get any of these cards out early, you can blink them and set your opponents back so much. If they can't pay for the effects, they have to sacrifice a permanent, and that includes their lands as well. I've had a game where I had a turn 2 Brago into turn 3 Rishadan Cutpurse, which triggers again once Brago blinks it after he attacks. Unless they have a counterspell for the Cutpurse, they won't have any resources to continue the game plan, which can lead to some salty scoops. Reflector Mage is great at sealing the commanders away and keeping it stuck in the opponent's hands, and Lavinium to 10 just shuts down most of your opponent's board by detaining all their non-land permanents with CMC 4 or less. This usually shuts down all your mana rocks as well. You also have some high value tutors which you can abuse with Brago's ability. Trinket Mage, Tribute Mage, and Trophy Mage can help you search for their respective CMC artifacts, while Spellseeker can tutor for instant or sorceries with CMC 2 or less. You can also find all these creature tutors with Recruiter of the Guard. There are a few ways to win with Brago, provided your opponent hasn't conceded yet or severed their relationship with you. Let's take a look at Strionic Resonator, a 2 mana artifact that reads, pay 2 and tap to copy target triggered ability, and you may choose new targets for the copy. If you have mana rocks that tap for 2 or more mana, you can copy Brago's triggered ability, target your rocks, and the Strionic Resonator, which will come in untapped, allowing you to repeat it again. This in turn gives infinite mana and infinite blinks, which you can then use to win the game. With Venser Shaper Savant, you can return all your opponent's permanents to their hand, or you can mill them out with Altar the Brood. Or infinite Rishadan Cutpurse triggers. Oh boy, that's gonna sting. So there you have it, a brutal Stax EDH deck led by Brago, King Eternal. He was one of my first commanders that I built that evolved from blink value to all out stacks, and is really fun to play. Not so much for my opponents. This has been CHAZZMTG. If you like the deck tech, please consider leaving a like or subscribing, and till next time, keep on playing magic.